Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we will be diving into Joe Bonamassa's Live at Rockpalast concert DVD. It comes in a standard plastic DVD case with no booklet, but the back of the case does show the set list and a few technical details about the DVD, but that's about it. So, if you're watching this review, then you likely already know that Joe Bonamassa is one of the premier blues rock guitarists of his generation. The generation I'm referring to includes artists such as Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Eric Gales, and Johnny Lang, who, much like Bonamassa, were recognized as guitar prodigies and began playing professionally and releasing major label albums while still in their teens. So back in 2002, I stumbled across Bonamassa's A New Day Yesterday live DVD, which was only included as a bonus with his So It's Like That CD. If you haven't seen that one yet, run out and get it now if you can still find it, because it's killer. Although it was a fairly low-budget affair, it brilliantly captured one of the most incendiary blues rock guitar performances I have ever witnessed, and is what really cemented my membership into the Joe Bonamassa fan club way back when. Live at Rockpalast was recorded only a few years later on June 28, 2005 for the legendary German television show Rockpalast, and was his first official live concert video DVD release. The Rockpalast show was filmed at the Burg Satzwey in Merchurch-Nick, Germany, which is a magnificent 14th century castle. But the concert venue looked like an old school rock club with cement walls and floor, dozens of steel posts everywhere holding up the low ceiling, and a stage that looked like it was only about 2 feet off the floor, so people were standing right in front of his face. Joe was backed by the same killer rhythm section of Eric Czar on bass and Kenny Cram on the drums, and I believe this would be the last tour that he would play with these two original guys. The set list for this show was rather short, only 9 full songs, along with a short jam which surprisingly featured a couple of Yes classics. When I first saw Heart of the Sunrise and Starship Trooper listed on the DVD case, I was quite intrigued to say the least. As much as I'm a blues rock fan, I'm even more of a prog rock fan, and Yes are the granddaddies of that genre. Now, what in the hell did Bonamassa have in mind for this stuff? Well, during the middle of his encore set, while still strapped with a Gibson Les Paul, he proceeded to tear right into the frenetic intro section of Heart of the Sunrise, and after a couple of minutes sieged into the ending Worm section of Starship Trooper. With that fat Gibson Les Paul tone and an extra touch of vibrato and sustain behind each note, Bonamassa fiercely transformed these two pieces into his very own blues prog hybrids. 4 of the other 9 songs were from Bonamassa's 2003 album Blues Deluxe, an album that featured mostly older blues covers. The title track originally appeared on Jeff Beck's seminal debut solo album Truth, which featured a young Rod Stewart on lead vocals. Bonamassa gives a masterclass on manipulating the guitar's volume knob while playing during the song's extended intro, before coaxing some of the tastiest blues rock licks I've ever heard come out of a little Fender Stratocaster. Mountain Time is a Bonamassa original that only clocked in at just under 4 minutes on his 2002 So It's Like That album, but Joe typically turns it into his 10-minute plus magnum opus every time he plays it live. It's been a fan favorite since the beginning for good reason, and this performance may be his best ever. You also get covers of B.B. King's You Upset Me Baby and John Lee Hooker's Burning Hell, which are not quite on par with some of Bonamassa's best work here tonight. The one original composition that he played from Blues Deluxe, I Don't Live Anywhere, was actually the best of the bunch. The River, another original composition from 2004's Had to Cry Today, begins as a slow blues burner that showcases Bonamassa's incredible slide guitar work, and then transforms into a ferocious blues rock anthem. As mesmerizing as Bonamassa could be to watch back in the day, the guy standing to his left, 5-string bassist Eric Czar, can be a downright show stealer at times. Master of every bass trick in the book, he effortlessly switches between funky slapping, thunderous low-end riffs, and delicate interludes. But when he is needed to anchor that groove, he knows exactly what to do. Drummer Kenny Crane also lays down some incredible stuff, and I was amazed at how effortlessly he makes it look. This was one hell of a tight power trio, and I wish Joe would revisit this format and get back to rocking out more again. The last time he did this was on his excellent Tour de Force Live at the Borderline concert video from 2013, but I'd kill to see a reunion concert with his original power trio again. The audio tracks on this DVD provide a powerful and well-balanced sounding live mix. Along with a standard Dolby Digital stereo track, you also get a potent DTS surround mix that not only showcases Bonamassa's phenomenal guitarmanship in the mix, but also gives due justice to his killer rhythm section. The bass thundered from my subwoofer, and the drum kit sounded like it was sitting in my living room at times. The video was clear and sharp, but the camera work suffered from some of the worst quick angle change syndrome I've ever seen. Too much of the show was shot with these extreme close-ups, often from bizarre angles, instead of just showing the entire stage mostly, or more medium shots of just Bonamassa and Czar riffing off each other. The close-ups did provide some excellent views of all of the brilliant fretwork going down, and gave a pretty good standing in the front row perspective at times. But the quick cuts and weird close-up angles were just too extreme much of the time to enjoy. There were no special features, but this is understandable because it was taken directly from the Rockpalast TV show recording, I'm assuming. The setlist show here featured 11 songs, and the total runtime was still 131 minutes. As for my ratings of this concert DVD, my overall production rating is an 8 out of 10, and my overall performance rating is a 10 out of 10. So, Live at Rockpalast captures one of the greatest blues rock guitar players and singers in his prime and at his peak. Although I still enjoy the more polished blues with a capital B and rock with a lowercase r that Joe Bonamassa has been putting out since this concert, with his band of hand-picked pros that now usually include a keyboardist, horn section, and even background singers, nothing really compared to seeing the original Joe Bonamassa power trio live, believe me. Alright, that's it for me today. Let me know your thoughts on this review in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more. If you could, please support this channel by using the Amazon Associates links in the description for some of the DVDs and CDs that I mentioned in the review. Thanks, and catch you guys next time.